Hi, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated's Fan Nation Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Thank you for joining us today. Um, Getting a ton of email, and I think it's kind of humorous, and I'll explain in more detail why in a minute, but it's about Josh Jacobs. And people who read what we write every day at Sports Illustrated's Fan Nation, who listen to our podcast, we've been telling you for months since we told you before that the Raiders were going to use the franchise tag. They did. We've been telling you all along we would not be shocked if Josh Jacobs holds out until the season starts. That we've also told you that Josh would like to stay a Raider. The Raiders would like to keep Josh. The issue is finding commonality of what a long-term deal looks like. We've told you this for months. So evidently over the weekend, somebody reported Josh Jacobs may not be in camp. And I want you to know, I appreciate hearing from, I don't even know the amount. I should have counted. So I apologize for not doing that. It's my fault. I'm sorry. But how many people are like, Hondo, everyone's making like this is big news. You've been saying this, and it is. And so I've had several people ask me if I could give an update. So this is what the purpose of this podcast is. It's an update on Josh Jacobs and the situation. Josh Jacobs wants to remain a Las Vegas Raider. He loves it here, loves the franchise, he loves the fans. He wants to be here. The Raiders, Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, love Josh Jacobs. They want him here as well. There's commonality of interest. Both parties want this marriage to work. Now, both parties would like to get a deal done and not have to use the franchise tag. So, what does that look like? And this is what we're going to talk about today. Josh ideally would love a 5-year deal. Okay. And who wouldn't? The team would be really thrilled with a 2 or 3-year deal. So, where's that commonality? Well, you can give Josh a deal that allows the team easily to get out of it in year 4 and 5 if he doesn't hit certain production numbers. I don't know this specifically, and I'm always going to tell you when I'm talking about what I know and what I don't know. Up to now, everything I've told you is what I do know. I do not know specifically that Josh would want a deal where production would determine year 4 and 5. I don't feel that that's something that he would necessarily want. So you find yourself at a situation, if you're the Raiders, yeah, we'd love to give him a 2 or 3-year deal. And if you're Josh, if I want a 5 or whatever, which is just it's not something. A running back in this league right now is not going to get a 5-year guaranteed deal when it's not their first contract. So that being said, where's that commonality ground? Now, I've told you for months that all of the expectation is that Josh may not show up until the first game, but he's in tremendous shape. He's ready to go. Nobody's worried about that. I had somebody email me. Matter of fact, let me just grab it really quick. This comes from Skylar. Skylar says, Hondo, I just heard that the Raiders would consider dropping the franchise tag if Josh didn't show up for training camp. What do you think? Okay, listen. They love Josh. They know what they're going to get from Josh. Josh is a consummate professional. He has worked his tail off this offseason. He ain't getting fat. And so I'm going to just tell you, I don't see a scenario unless there's a problem behind the scenes with the agent where they would drop Josh and his franchise tag. Just don't see it. I don't think that they're upset. Would they like him in training camp? Sure, they would. Do I think they care? No, because they know him. They know he's going to show up. And quite frankly, I want to get into this a little bit because a lot of people have asked my opinion. Now, my opinion doesn't matter, but a lot of you have asked, so I'm going to give it to you. Josh had played very well under his rookie contract. But prior to last year, you'd see him, he'd make a big run. He needed a blow, had to get out for some plays, or would get injured and be out for a little bit. And so I had no issue. In fact, I said last year I would not exercise the 5th-year option. So I don't blame the Raiders for not exercising it. I also know there's a ton of Raiders fans who want them to get him a long-term deal. All right, you really want to put 5 years into a running back in the NFL? I mean, that's just not smart. Remember, I had the same concerns about Darren Waller and said that I would not have given him his contract that he got. I was very critical of his contract. First of all, I said they shouldn't have done it, and then after they did it, I was critical of it. And now he's in New Jersey. I know it's the New York Giants, but they practice in New Jersey. So are you that person who's going to clamor, need a long-term deal, need a long-term deal, need a long-term deal, need a long-term deal, and then 2 years into it, oh my God, why would these idiots have given him a deal? In this NFL, giving him a 5-year deal is just not going to happen. Now, could it be a 5-year deal, but it's really a 2 or a 3 with performance options? Yes, but I'm talking about there. He's not getting a guaranteed 5-year deal. So it's trying to figure out where is the commonality. And if you can't, you play on the franchise tag. Now, I'm going to say this, and by the way, I really like Josh a lot. I think he's a great kid. I first met Josh before he was even in college, when he was a prospect and coming out of high school. I think he's a great guy. I really genuinely like him. I respect his work ethic. I like him as a person. So this isn't personal to me. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm okay playing him on a franchise tag. And because we saw last year when all the chips were in, how well he performed. And I believe Josh would have a great year this year playing under the franchise tag. I've had people say to me, do you think he would just be playing not to get injured? No, because he would know how I played is going to be my deal. Now, could there be something where the Raiders say to him, listen, if you come and play on the franchise tag and we're not able to get a deal next year, we'll let you go? Sure, that's a definite possibility. That could certainly happen. But I think the Raiders got to be smart. Josh has to be smart. If Josh sits out a year, how well did that work for my buddy Le'Veon Bell? Didn't work very well. I don't think it would work well for him. So I think Josh, I have not been given any indication by anybody involved that they would expect Josh to not play. So again, where they sit, they're trying to figure out a long-term deal. And I don't think that's going to happen. Just giving you my opinion. It might. I think it's close, but I think there's a couple of hurdles that may not be able to get overcome. So if I had to say today, I think there's probably a 40% chance they get that deal done, but I don't expect it. But at the same time, wouldn't be surprised, and I'm not being political, if somebody gave there a little bit. But I expect him to play. He'll be there. He's going to produce. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He's going to get there and give you everything that he's got. And again, remember, it's easy to get sucked into clickbait. It's easy to get, ooh, breaking. Well, okay, it may be breaking for the person that wrote it or said it, but it isn't breaking in reality, because we've told you all along this is the expectation. And I think that is a very fair synopsis of where everything is. Now, I want to let you know, I'm getting a lot of email on a couple of subjects. So don't forget, tomorrow is my question and answer article. I look forward to that with you very much. If you have a question or answer that you want for the Wednesday question and answer article, all you need to do is send me an email, Spartan Nation Mail, MAIL at yahoo.com. Spartan Nation, 2 N's, Spartan Nation Mail, MAIL at yahoo.com. Put in the subject line Raiders QA. Got just a couple spots left, but we'd like to include you. But again, don't get sucked in this time of year. From the end of the mini camps and the OTAs to the start of training camp, in the media, a lot of people call it dead time. I don't think it's dead. I think there's a lot of great information to discuss. But people will just throw stuff against a wall because they know that people will watch and listen. So just make sure that you're listening to reputable people, getting good information. I don't think there's any reason to panic on Josh. I think that he'll be there. Do I think there's a chance he holds out in camp? Yes. Do I think it should matter to Raider fans? Not one bit. The least beatings he takes, the better. And I think you just let Josh take care of Josh. But that situation's not one that I think you should worry about. And remember, that's not opinion. I'm getting that from people directly involved in the situation, and I'm passing that on to you. I always want to be good to explain to you what's opinion and what's not. So, from all of us here at Sports Illustrated's Fan Nation, the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast, part of the Fans First Sports Network, we love you and appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. We're growing exponentially, and that's total credit to all of you. Thanks for sharing and the articles, sharing the podcast, and getting them out to people. It's a real blessing. So, to all of us, to you, thank you guys. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and we'll be back again tomorrow.